Hey Maria, back with another video. It's oh god, what is it? Oh, it's 10:07 today, and I'm off from work today. Um, the owner is putting in air conditioning in the office that I'm working at. So, they're going to need use of the electricity. They need the power turned off or whatever. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll be heading home yesterday. So I went home early yesterday, and then today they're still working on the air conditioner. So I'm just kind of hanging out in my house right now, and you know what? I'm kind of okay with that right now. Even though, I don't like losing wages. I know my boss said that I can make some of the hours up, but which I will, But I feel like it's time. It's just I could use a day to just kind of de-stress. Not that my job is stressful, because it really isn't. It's pretty easy actually, but it's just I just want to be by myself today. And so I was talking to my friend today, and she's out and about today. She's running around town and getting things done. And there's times where I like being out of the house, and then there's times where I'm content being in. It goes back and forth. Overall, I will say, oftentimes, no matter what I'm doing, there's a certain level of boredom, because I'm usually doing the same things, same sort of things, whether I'm going to the store, grocery store, or, picking up household cleaning items or whatever. It's so humdrum, mind-numbing shit, that I honest and truthfully, I don't know, it's just dull, and so I kept thinking, but I do like going to the park, going to see the park, I like seeing families playing and little kids on the swing set. That's cute, it's nice to just kind of sit back and enjoy looking at people enjoying themselves, people who have lives, people who haven't been gang stalked, right? I'm on the outside kind of looking in on what other people are doing, because I'm not doing shit myself. But anyway, I kept thinking, if I'm going to do that today, then I need to get moving, because it's going to be hot today. But I kept thinking, today I'm going to stay in the house, and I'm okay with it. So I'm just kind of, relaxing, listening to my tranquil music, and getting my head together, getting myself situated mentally. I'm still dealing with a lot of the anxiety and the depression, but it's a process. It is. It's a process, because it's not something that you can just easily transition. It's like, I don't know, when I was a kid, people kept using that word, like midlife crisis, in front of my face all the time. And I kept thinking, okay, the average expectancy back in I would say the early 80s was I think 75. So I would take that 75 number, and then I would kind of try to figure out, okay, at what point does a person hit the midlife crisis age, And I guess, I don't know, I thought it was kind of silly, but I kept thinking, well, maybe this is a midlife crisis. Maybe people come to a certain point in their life where something horrendous happens. I would love to know the real definition of midlife crisis, okay? I've read different things, but it's not supposed to be like a rite of passage or some bullshit like that. I think some people go through trauma or whatever. I'm truly unclear on that whole midlife crisis thing, but I would say that it could possibly resemble it, if that's what the definition would be, because I feel really emotionally shaken and disturbed by all that bullshit that happened, and it's not an easy thing to just snap your finger and be okay. It takes a while, So, I've just been busying myself with, little arts and craft projects here and there. And I had some sewing projects that I was working on, and so one's, kind of in a period of transition. I'm going to be adding a hem to this particular turtleneck that I'm making, and then holding in the sleeves to stitch them. And so, I like going to, now this is a hobby. It's not something that I would do for a living. It's a hobby, okay? I enjoy clothes. And, when I was younger, I would, I was really impressed with some of the little artsy type things that kids have. Sometimes kids would have little tote bags and stuff like that their mom made them and stuff. And I kept thinking, I want something of my own, Sewing wasn't really encouraged in my family, but I know that, my dad got us he got us a sewing machine. He taught us how to use the sewing machine. He bought these little patterns, like the strawberry shortcake patterns, Huckleberry, I think his name was Huckleberry Pie. He was one of the strawberry shortcake characters, whatever. And they were like these little, half and half dolls where there's a front and a back, and then it was basic stitching. Learn how to basic stitch on like a sewing machine. And I kept thinking, I want to do more though. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, that's all very well and good, and it's cute and everything. But I want to make clothes. I want clothes, because I like clothes, and I want to be able to make my own stuff. Not just clothes, things for the house. I want to be like this. In my mind, I kept thinking, I want to be the ultimate woman, right? And I know it's silly, but I had my idea of what a woman was supposed to be. Now, mind you, not all women sew or want to sew or anything like that, okay? Not everybody cares about those things. Hang on a second, let me grab the door. Hey, thank you. Not everybody likes to sew, but this is the person that I envisioned when I was a kid, and this is what I want to do in my life. I never visualized myself sewing for a career. I always kind of thought that would be separate, but these are my hobbies. These are the things I like. And so anyway, going back to my thing, I do like sewing. So I did some sewing this week. And I also did some last week, a little bit here and there, or last week or the week before. I'm losing track of time because every day is the same. Every single day is the same. So anyway, I got some shirts at the thrift store a while ago, and I like the colors on the shirt, but I didn't like the way it was designed. The way the shirt was designed before. It was like, I don't know what they were doing with the collar. I don't know, okay? I think they were trying to make it like draped on the side from one shoulder to one shoulder to show like a definition there. But when I would put it on my mannequin and I put it on myself, I didn't see any definition. I was like, this is crap. So I decided, right there at the store, I already had it in my mind, okay, before I even tried it on, that I was going to change it. I didn't like it. So I make small, basic alterations to clothing, okay? It's basically what I do. I change them slightly. I modify them slightly. Now, I've seen some people who take like two different garments, merge them together, and then I'll create ruffles, create, all these different things. And so these are like real strong, like experienced people who go out of their way to create upcycling fashions as a living. And they do what I consider to be very complex projects, okay? I do things like I might change the collar on something, remove the sleeves, change the buttons, maybe instead of it, being a full shirt, I might cut it up the middle and make it more buttoned or something. But that's still considered to be somewhat basic, okay? So, why people would think that I would do this as a living or that it was such a big part of my life, it's a part of my life, okay? But it's like a part of my functioning life where I believe that this is the way, in my mind, I should live. Because this is the sort of person I always wanted to be. It's not a part of like what I'd want to do for a living. But still, anyway, back to my project. I have to say I'm okay with it. Now, I'd like to show you this, but it's very basic, okay? And let me explain it to you. So I got this shirt at the, I think it's called Rad Thrift Store. I think it's what it's called. I'm not sure if you can see the coloring on it or not, but I loved the coloring on it when I first saw it. And I thought, oh, wow, that's really pretty, And so it had a collar that was like, I don't know, can you see the lighting in here? It's kind of weird because the sun's kind of messed up. But it had a really weird, like it was all bunched up in here, and then it went from here to here. And when you looked at the back of it, it was like, twisted up or something. And it was made that way. And I'm like, oh, that's horrible. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make a mock turtleneck out of this. So I cut the collar off completely. And I kind of made these even. And then I made a basic pattern. Because the shirt was more, I don't know what you want to call it. It was more, I don't know. It kind of looked more like a tunic at first. So anyway, I made this basic pattern, and it's basic, okay? I said, this is the way I want it. So I basically, do basic measurements or whatever based off of maybe another shirt that you have that fits, okay? And then I made this, right? And I changed it. And then I just added the skirt to see what it would look like, you know. And I did make this purse a while ago out of extra fabric scrap, okay? So I kept thinking, oh, what would look with this? And so I kind of put that there. And this is what the outfit would look like. So anyway, basic stuff. Today I was thinking about doing some light painting. Not because I'm a good painter, because God knows I'm not. I would say I'm less than amateur, okay? Some of my paintings look like something that a little kid would do. That would be posted on the refrigerator because the mom is lying to the kid and thinking, oh, it's a good job, we're gonna put this on the refrigerator. It's not great, okay? But it's good. Color therapy is very good for people, okay? If you're feeling down, there's certain colors that you might be more drawn to help pick you up. And, you know, I think it's important. You know, I like bright colors sometimes. I like bright colors in my house. Like, you know, I like pink, I like yellow, but I would never wear those colors, right? I'm more of a fall and winter person. Now, I don't know if you can tell, or with that shirt that I just showed you, I don't think it looks, there's pink in there. It's like a fuchsia, but it's a dark fuchsia color. And there's orange, and there's green, and there's blue, and there's black, and it's all swirled together. You know, there's certain colors that I can't wear, but I want them in my home. But whatever I do in my life, I prefer to be surrounded in color. I enjoy color. Color is something for me that's like, you know, it's a must-have, you know. And I just thought, you know, I know my mom she never really cared about those sort of things. She was always saying, well, I'm just going to have it plain. Or, you know, we'd be looking at a catalog and there's like an assortment of different colors that you can get. She's like, oh, I'll just get it white. I'm like, whatever. I would always choose the vibrant color. I always want what's vibrant, what's stimulating, you know. That's what I like to do. So anyway, off that subject, I'm just kind of rambling here because, you know, I'm in that rambling mood, you know. I get a little bit down at times, you know, and it takes a while for me to pick up. And there's days where I have good days. And, well, I'm still in my back of my mind thinking about this bullshit, but there's days where I have good days, even though I'm still thinking about it. And then there's days where I'm just like, fuck, you know, I'm so upset. You know, I wish I could just beat the shit out of these people. You know, I'll get rageful or whatever. And then, you know, there's days I'm kind of mellow. You know, I'm a little bit balanced there, you know. It's a constant up and down. It's not something you can just shrug your shoulders and forget. You can't do that, you know. If you could, I would have done it already. But, so yeah, the mental issues, the depression and all that is pretty heavy on me. And so I'm dealing with that. And that's pretty much all I'm dealing with because this is all my life consists of at the moment. So then I have to break up the monotony and pick up my hobby, you know, or do something. Which it helps. It does help. But there's times where I don't even feel like doing that, you know. Today, instead of working on my sewing, finishing my sewing, adding the hems and fixing the sleeves, what I think I might do is do some painting. I was watching those videos, clips they show on Facebook of people making these painting projects, and of course these people are far more experienced than I will ever be. They know how to blend paints and mix paint colors and all the different little tips and techniques, you know. And I'm still one who's just kind of in the dark with all that. I just do it because I like looking at the color. It soothes me as I put it on like a canvas or whatever. It's fun, okay? And it can also transcend you back into time to where you are like more relaxed, like a kid or whatever. All of these wonderful things that these little arts and crafts do for people, at least for me, okay? I can't speak for everyone else. I mean, people pick up their hobbies for all kinds of reasons, you know. For some people, it's sentimental. For myself, it's sentimental attachment. It's a part of my life goal, meaning that, like, when I visualize myself making in my mind when I was a kid, saying that sewing was going to be a part of my life, like, you know, I would prefer to make things instead of buying every single thing. I would prefer to make them for my hand. That's what I wanted when I was a kid, and that's who I've become. You know, it's just a part of my life. And like I said, you know, you're more likely to reach your goals or do things that are focused on your goals as an individual person instead of somebody who is continuously doing things as a group. I enjoy these things, and but I never expected people to hold things like that against me. I think it's kind of silly, but I do remember working at one of those places, and the what do you call it? The setups, and I remember somebody basically saying that they were trying to suggest to me that I should get into knitting or crocheting or something. And it was funny because just a few days before that, they were telling me that some people reach an age where they're too old to do sewing. And I'm thinking, okay, well, too old to do sewing, but I'm just about the right age to do crocheting. That makes no sense. You can tell your perps are spying in on you and summing you up and then thinking that you should be doing what they want you to do. And it's bullshit. It's that's some master manipulator weirdness shit. I mean, it's so weird, that somebody would even care. Get concerned with your own life already. It's just so stupid. That it's so absurd, that somebody would stalk me because they're sick and mental, and then weird enough that somebody would actually help them stalk me. That's sick to me, and it's disturbing, and it's shaking to me, because I don't really want to be a part of their life, and it bothers me because when I think of how women, especially women, okay, men are getting stopped in this program too, but women can be easily open to all kinds of abuse from their spouse, from ex-siblings, from their moms or whoever, who has absolutely no legal right to do what they're doing. And then you got people who are giving them an open pass, employers who are giving them an open pass to do these things. And when you start really thinking about the damage that can cause, and the damage that they were warned that it can cause, and they do it anyway, it's wow, it really makes you feel like somebody put you in a, I don't know, kind of like a concentration camp, or had you locked up in a basement and tormented you and forced you to do things that you didn't want to do. And you feel violated. You feel like a victim of rape. You feel like, something that is so painful, and it's abusive, and it's hard to live under something like that. It's very difficult to recover from something like that. Even though there was no physical violence, you dangle someone's life like their employment in front of their face. That is threatening your life. It is threatening your life. It's threatening everything that you care about. Not everything you care about, but you know what I mean, things that are important to you. That's just like going over to a fireman, who's been working on the fire department, in the fire department for 25 years, and then saying, I'm going to slip this rug underneath you, and I'm going to make you be an EMT. And you're going to be an EMT right now, okay? This is what you're going to do. And he's going to be like, well, what about this? What about that? What about my plans to do this? What about all these other things? Well, we just decided that we're going to do that. The arrogance, and then the thought that somebody can actually do that, and then these employers who claim to be trained to know better do it, and then you're somebody who works hard and cares about these things and takes these laws and these procedures seriously because I understand the cause and effect. It becomes traumatizing. Just like somebody held you down, a bunch of people held you down and robbed you for everything that you had, is what it feels like. And some people, for example, women or men who experience a violent attack of some sort, they go through these periods of flashbacks and these nervous feelings and this disturbed feeling and these whatever, and the same thing happens for somebody who has threatened your life financially. Okay, like when I went down to Palm Springs, right, for a job interview, and this man was just basically playing with my time, on a hot summer day for 3 hours, driving there and back. Okay, that's a 6-hour trip. Okay, and some sick fuck thinks that that's okay and that's funny. Don't threaten my life. You know what I mean? That's money I didn't have. I mean, I wasn't really working at the time, and that's gas money for some. It's like these people are sick. You know what I mean? These people are sick, and it that disturbed me, and it was like they were enjoying that sick shit, you know. And these are people who claim to be your family. Okay, that's sick, very sick. So it's not. It should be understandable that somebody would feel very disturbed and need time. You know, it should make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then you're an insensitive bastard, and you probably have no right to be in my life. Okay. Anyway, so I'm enjoying my day today. I don't think I'm going to get out today. There's really no need for me to. I'm waiting for the weather to cool down, and yeah, I do like going to the park, walking to the park, those things. And you know, I get irritated because I know my family has people, or had people, being what I consider to be double agents, or, you know, informants, or whatever you want to call them. And it's like, my God, can you be any more competitive and jealous and nosy and intrusive than that? Like I am a grown woman. I don't have to explain shit to you. You know, and then involving yourself in my employment, and then thinking that I have to listen to what you have to say. I never asked you to be. You know, and I never asked these people for shit. Just get the hell out of my life, you know? And the nerve of them. And the fact that they thought that they could. And the very fact that, you know, for the last few years, I've been slowly waking up and seeing my oldest sister and the mask that she's been wearing for all these years. And then also looking back and seeing the signs of her manipulative behavior, but ignoring it, and then coming to the realization that I should have really fucking woke my ass up back then. That's shocking too. You know, and the fact that her husband thinks that I'm supposed to adhere to his weird, twisted religious morals and beliefs when I'm not even married to him. And even if I was, that's a sick person who does that shit to their wife. Very sick. So I'm dealing with a lot. So I'm being kind with myself. Anyway, I'm kind of like, you know, I want to take in more things. I want to do different things because outside of the house, because I'm tired of this being my reality day in and day out. You know, it gets to be very dull. It does. It gets to be very dull. But it's like I'm kind of like I don't know. Everything I've known from my past is gone, and I'm starting all over again. Think of it that way. And I'm glad these people are out of my life, because I don't want them in my life. Okay, just the thought, the conjuring thought of my ex-family and Joel's family is extremely disturbing to me. Very disturbing. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will be back with another video some other time. For all you guys, have a great, safe day. And I will be back with another video some other time. Bye-bye.